Is so high. Choose Mako for paint.
And collision.
Mako, the body shop that paints cars, has two great specials.
Need collision repair? Mako is now offering 10% off body labor.
And to make that old finish look new again, Mako's most economical paint finish is only $2.99.
Call today to take advantage of these great offers.
Thank you for making News Channel 5 #1 in every single newscast.
Tonight, tornadoes rampage across North Carolina. The state is devastated after dozens of storms destroy buildings and lives across wide areas, from the capital to small towns.
It sounded like the whole world was just being sucked up into the air.
I'm Russ Mitchell. Also tonight, trail of destruction. One North Carolina county is especially hard hit, with more than 20 deaths and miles of devastation. An economic speed bump as the price of gas soars above $4 in more and more states. Fears that the economic recovery could stall. And open for business. A year after the BP oil spill, deep water drilling is back in the Gulf with few new regulations or oversight.
This is the CBS Evening News with Russ Mitchell.
And good evening. Residents across a huge part of the country are counting their dead and cleaning up the rubble after a brutal weekend of tornadoes and severe storms. Let's take a look at the latest. At least 45 people are reported dead, and hundreds of homes and businesses have been destroyed. More than 240 tornadoes in all touched down across 14 states, and that's a record number for a single storm system. The twister struck over a 3-day period from the Great Plains east to North Carolina, which was the hardest hit state with at least 22 deaths. This time-lapse video shows the size and intensity of the storm front that swept into Raleigh late yesterday, quickly blotting out the sky and pounding windows with wind and rain. Cynthia Bowers in the town of Sanford, North Carolina, that's southwest of Raleigh tonight, where she has the latest. Cynthia, good evening.
Good evening, Russ. People in this area say they knew dangerous storms were coming, but they had no idea just how devastating and just how deadly they would prove to be.
Oh my, wow.
It's still not known just how many tornadoes raked North Carolina Saturday, but the devastation is clear and the death toll is rising. Governor Beverly Perdue, who saw homes across the capital city of Raleigh destroyed, says it could have been even worse.
People who say they've lost everything, they're all thankful for their lives.
This Lowe's home improvement store in Sanford could have been a disaster in itself, if not for quick-thinking employees like Gail Dickens, who saw the twister coming.
And I said, we have a tornado. Get to the bathrooms now. Everybody was standing there kind of quietly until all of a sudden you heard the roof peel back, and you heard people scream then, because at that time you just heard in that hallway it just went phew.
Gail says it's a miracle no one in the store was seriously hurt. As frightening as things got at the Lowe's, this is what Gail came home to find. One neighbor dead, 7 other families with absolutely nothing left except each other.
I don't know what hit me. Something come across, hit the back of my head.
Mechanic Nicholas Flynn was building a swing set for his 3-year-old when he saw the tornado heading straight for his mobile home. He grabbed his little girl, his pregnant wife, and raced for the only refuge they could find, this ditch.
We ain't had time to be scared. We had to go. If we didn't hurry, we would not be here right now.
As for starting over,
Oh no, it don't look promising.
Like his neighbors, Steve Buchanan climbed out of the ditch to find the life he'd built over the years erased in a matter of seconds.
From there, I'm just going to have to take it a day at a time. That's all I can do.
Amid the sense of loss, folks here see signs of hope in the small things that were spared.
So are these the youngest survivors of the storm?
Yep, they're the youngest ones.
Such as Angela Lockamy's dog Bella and 3 of her 5 puppies. And Steve Buchanan's American flag is still flying.
There's still hope, so.
For 15 years, the aftermath of Hurricane Fran has been the disaster by which all other disasters are measured. Folks here say this one was worse, Russ, much worse.
Cynthia Bowers in Sanford, North Carolina. Thank you. North Carolina Governor Bev Perdue has been touring her state today, and she joins us from Raleigh. Governor, good evening.
Good evening there.
How would you describe what you saw today?
I've seen a lot of damage in North Carolina over the years, but this is the most catastrophic I've ever seen. The destruction is massive. I've been in 6 counties. We'll do more counties tomorrow. We have 23 counties that are are really, really hurt badly. Lots of tremendous property damage, schools lost, infrastructure damage. The great news about North Carolina is our people are pitching in, they're coming together. There are communities across the country that are already in place in North Carolina helping us get our lives back together and move on till tomorrow.
Governor, I know you've declared a state of emergency. What is job number one as far as you're concerned?
Well, we have the federal folks on the ground here now. Job number one after the state of emergency is doing the property assessment and reaching out and helping people as much as we can with shelter and food and clothes, with a bit of assistance to clean up the salvage and to start their lives again. We're taking care of the infrastructure today. The power companies have been great. We've got more than 2,000 people on the ground trying to restore power and clean up the hot wires that are down all over the state. Moving a lot of trees, a lot of damage. It's what you would expect in a coastal state like North Carolina. But again, the good news is that we've got thousands of volunteers, Red Crosses here, and lots of people from all over the country are trying to help us.
Governor, as we speak right now, what is your biggest concern for the people and those areas that were hardest hit?
Well, the biggest concern for the folks in North Carolina has to be public safety today. We're less than 24 hours out of a major weather catastrophe. But then the long-term concerns is how some folks who have lost everything can start building their lives again. Many of the homes and the lives that were really hurt badly, many of the families that have had significant losses and lost loved ones, 22 people that we know of dead now, actually have very few resources to begin to rebuild again. So we need the help and the support and the prayers of everybody in America. North Carolina is a strong state. We always bounce back. We have a legacy of doing that, and we'll be fine in the long run, but in the short run, we appreciate the help we're getting.
North Carolina Governor Bev Perdue joining us tonight from Raleigh. Thank you for joining us. Best of luck to you.
Thank you so much.
In all of North Carolina, it was Bertie County east of Raleigh that took the biggest hit. Tara Lynn of a Raleigh affiliate WRAL is in the town of Colerain tonight.
Family members are going through what is left of Roy and Barbara Lafferty's home today.
This is Helen White. She was very active.
The Laffertys, along with Barbara's mother, Helen, were killed when a tornado devastated the small town of Colerain.
I just had a gut feeling when I couldn't get them on the phone and knew how close it had hit. I just had a feeling.
Daughter-in-law Kim Lafferty says their cat Oreo was the only survivor after the home was ripped from its foundation and torn apart.
She was in the shed. They found her under the shelves and things in there.
They had just come home early from a vacation.
Normally they're there all weekend long.
Any particular reason they came back?
We don't know. And the only thing we can figure out, it was God's plan.
Bertie County was hit harder than any other spot in the state. 11 people are confirmed dead in this rural area.
At Bertie, we just deal with these acts of Mother Nature, and we pull together and work, do the best we can, that we'll be able to help these people recover, because some people, you've been out there, you've seen some of these people have lost everything.
Rescue crews say they have now accounted for everyone here in the county, but still a lot of rebuilding, and that process starts now. Russ?
Tara, you touched on this earlier, but as you flew over the area earlier today, could you assess how wide the damage was?
Several miles. We first drove into the town of Askewville, and that's about 10 miles away from where we are here. And rescue crews say you can see a pretty clear path of that storm moving north here. We know several cars were flipped, and there was some major damage to a farm. Russ?
Okay. Tara Lynn of our Raleigh affiliate WRAL joining us from the town of Colerain, North Carolina. Thank you so much. Here's what else is happening tonight. In Texas, crews are fighting to contain at least half a dozen large wildfires. One blaze in Austin damaged 5 homes today. North of the capital, a 1,000-acre fire in Palo Pinto County forced officials to order the evacuation of 2 small towns. One day after yet another air traffic controller fell asleep on the job, we have details in those new FAA regulations designed to put a stop to the problem. Wyatt Andrews has the latest on the federal government's new plan and why the Obama administration thinks it's going to work.
The new rules from the FAA sound deceptively simple. With so many air traffic controllers sleeping on duty, 6 have been suspended for 8 cases of sleeping. The new rules start with an order to get more rest. Instead of the mandatory 8 hours off between shifts, the rules now require 9 hours off. The rules also ban controllers from swapping into a midnight shift after a day off, a scheduling trick routinely used to engineer a 3-day weekend.
More rest time, more managers on duty, and making sure that controllers are not looking out for their own schedule rather than the safety schedule that we think needs to be put in place.
But will 1 extra hour off between shifts make a difference? That 1 hour is the product of a study done jointly by the FAA and Air Traffic Controllers Union, which showed the FAA's scheduling system partly to blame for fatigue. One study of rotating shifts, for example, where controllers work day shifts and midnight shifts in the same week, concluded that controllers often carry an acute sleep debt onto night shifts, and this sleep disturbance can lead to increased fatigue and unsafe conditions. To the union, that 1 extra hour off is critical.
Well, there should be a minimum of 9 hours between the shift, which allows a proper amount for sleep so the controller comes back to that day shift rested.
But some of the controllers are also to blame for not getting their sleep while off duty.
And it was obvious from the interviews that we've done with controllers that have been now suspended because they fell asleep, that some of them, when they were during their rest period, may have been doing other things rather than resting.
One other recommendation from that study on fatigue is to give controllers on the midnight shift a 2.5-hour sleeping break while on duty. Transportation Secretary Ray LaHood ruled that out, saying controllers, quote, won't be paid to take naps. Russ?
Wyatt Andrews in Washington, thank you. Up next on the CBS Evening News, could soaring gas prices take the bloom off the economic recovery?
If you've been to the hospital with heart-related chest pain or a heart attack, known as ACS, you may not want to face the fact that you're at greater risk of a heart attack or stroke. Plavix helps protect people with ACS against heart attack or stroke. People like you. It's one of the most researched prescription medicines. Adding Plavix to your other heart medicines goes beyond what they do alone by helping to keep blood platelets from sticking and forming dangerous clots. Plavix, protection against heart attack or stroke in people with ACS.
Plavix is not for everyone. Certain genetic factors in some medicines, such as Prilosec, reduce the effect of Plavix, leaving you at greater risk for heart attack and stroke. Your doctor may use genetic tests to determine treatment. Don't stop taking Plavix without talking to your doctor, as your risk of heart attack or stroke may increase. People with stomach ulcers or conditions that cause bleeding should not use Plavix. Taking Plavix alone or with some other medicines, including aspirin, may increase bleeding risk, which can potentially be life-threatening. So tell your doctor when planning surgery. Tell your doctor all medicines you take, including aspirin, especially if you've had a stroke. If fever, unexplained weakness, or confusion develops, tell your doctor promptly. These may be signs of TTP, a rare but potentially life-threatening condition reported sometimes less than 2 weeks after starting Plavix.
You can turn ordinary chicken into luscious, delicious, and scrumptious with recipes from CampbellsKitchen.com and Campbell's Cream of Chicken Soup. Campbell's, it's amazing what soup can do.
Eggland's best eggs, the best in nutrition, just got better.
Now with even more of the vitamins your body needs, like vitamin D.
Plus omega-3s.
There's one important ingredient that hasn't changed. Better taste.
Eggland's best. Better taste, better nutrition, the better egg.
Dad? It's time. You'd be a really nice catch for somebody. Please?
Just for Men takes 5 easy minutes, targets only the gray hair, and can start something great. Just for Men.
Osteoporosis treatment, no big deal. So I have to wait up to an hour just to eat or drink. I've got time to kill.
Yeah, right. I'm a working woman.
And I'm busy.
Why should osteoporosis therapy disrupt my morning routine? With new Atelvia, there's no wait.
Unlike other osteoporosis medicines, Atelvia has a delayed release formulation, so you can take it right after breakfast and help protect your bones. Do not take Atelvia if you have esophagus problems, low blood calcium, severe kidney disease, or cannot sit or stand for 30 minutes. Follow all dosing instructions. Stop taking Atelvia and tell your doctor if you experience difficult or painful swallowing, chest pain, or severe or continuing heartburn, which may be signs of serious upper digestive problems. Tell your doctor if you develop dental or jaw problems, as serious jawbone problems have been reported rarely. Also, tell your doctor if you develop severe bone, joint, or muscle pain, or any hip, groin, or thigh pain, as unusual thigh bone fractures have been reported rarely.
With Atelvia, the mornings are all mine.
Talk to your doctor about new Atelvia.
More bad news at the pump. Gas prices continue to soar. The national average is now $3.83 a gallon, up 7 cents in a week. In 6 states and the District of Columbia, average prices are above $4. Elaine Quijano tells us the impact is already rippling through the economy.
If you think you're getting robbed at the gas pump, blow your horn.
Think gas prices are high now? Economists predict they'll climb even higher, driven by unrest in the Middle East and uncertainty about future oil prices.
By the summer, we'll be what? Maybe up to 5?
Yeah.
People will be staying home because prices will be ridiculous.
The rising prices come just as the economy is beginning to show some signs of life, including a drop in unemployment to 8.8%, the lowest level in 2 years. But analysts say soaring energy costs are threatening to slow down the nation's recovery.
Gasoline prices drive up food prices. They also make more expensive business at places like florists, landscapers, and so forth. There's a big crunch in the service sector and on food prices.
Flowers, can I help you?
At Union City Flower Shop in New Jersey, that cost of doing business has increased dramatically.
You've had to make some pretty big adjustments then.
Big time, big time.
Manager Anthony Amorales estimates compared to last year, it now costs about $60 more each time he fills up one of his 4 delivery vans. And the vendors who deliver flowers to them have doubled their fuel charges as well. He's resisted raising his prices for fear of losing his longtime customers.
We get it from one end, we get it from another, and it's just squeezing us, we have nowhere to move.
To cope, he's taken painful measures, shrinking the store's delivery area, cutting employee hours, even using gas cans to buy cheaper gas elsewhere instead of at the more expensive stations near the store, at a savings of 50 cents a gallon.
Fill up in the morning, endure the smell, bring them in, and we have them here during the day when the drivers need gas. We fill them up right in the street.
Here in New York City, gas prices are already well above $4 a gallon, and some analysts say relief is still months away. They estimate oil and gas prices will not stabilize until the summer. Elaine Quijano, CBS News, New York.
Under brilliant sunny skies, Pope Benedict celebrated Palm Sunday with an outdoor mass in St. Peter's Square, overflowing with pilgrims and tourists. The ceremony opened the church's Holy Week, leading up to Easter Sunday. And still ahead on tonight's CBS Evening News, what's changed and what hasn't in the years since the BP oil spill.
For 3 hours a week, I'm a coach. But when I was diagnosed with prostate cancer, I needed a coach. Our doctor was great, but with so many tough decisions, I felt lost. United Healthcare offered a specially trained RN who helped us weigh and understand all our options. For me, cancer was as scary as a fastball is to some of these kids, but my coach had hit that pitch before.
Turning data into useful answers. We're 78,000 people looking out for 70 million Americans. That's health in numbers. United Healthcare.
Your advertising mail campaign's paying off.
Business is good.
It must be if you're doing all that overnight shipping. That must cost a fortune.
It sure does.
Well, if it doesn't have to get there overnight, you could save a lot with priority mail flat rate envelopes. One flat rate to any state, just $4.95.
That's cool and all, but it ain't my money. I seriously do not care.
So you don't care what anyone says. You want to save this company money.
That's exactly what I was saying.
Priority mail flat rate envelopes, just $4.95, only from the Postal Service. A simpler way to ship.
Everything is better with Swanson broth in it, an essential ingredient in any kitchen. Swanson 100% natural chicken broth.
This is Charlie, whose morning flight to London starts with arthritis pain and a choice. Take Tylenol now and maybe up to 8 in a day, or choose a leave and 2 pills for a day free of pain. Enjoy the flight.
To keep in balance after 50, I switched to a complete multivitamin with more. Only One A Day Women's 50 Plus Advantage has ginkgo for memory and concentration, plus support for bone and breast health. A great addition to my routine. One A Day Women's.
Hello, sunshine, sweet as you can be.
Wake up to sweetness with Honey Nut Cheerio cereal. Kissed with real honey. And the 100% natural whole grain oats can help lower your cholesterol.
You are so sweet to me.
Be happy, be healthy.
With the right guidance, I get exactly where I want to go.
Turn left ahead.
TurboTax has a unique GPS feature that guides me to every deduction and credit I deserve. And calculations are guaranteed accurate. So I get my maximum refund. Guaranteed.
Try TurboTax now.
Sometimes life can be, well, a little uncomfortable. But when it's hard or hurts to go to the bathroom, there's Dulcolax Stool Softener. Dulcolax Stool Softener doesn't make you go, it just makes it easier to go. Dulcolax Stool Softener. Make yourself comfortable.
Paul Allen left Microsoft with nothing but $40 billion in stock. So why is he so mad at his co-founder, Bill Gates? The surprising answer tonight on 60 Minutes.
The Gulf disaster 1 year later. How much oil remains? The wildlife, the rebuilding of lives, and as BP paid as promised. This week on the CBS Evening News.
This Wednesday marks the first anniversary of the explosion aboard BP's Deepwater Horizon drilling rig in the Gulf of Mexico, triggering a leak that took nearly 3 months to stop. 1 year later, our Mark Strassman has returned to the Gulf Coast to see how the oil business has changed and how it has not.
In this moment, BP's disaster exploded into view. 11 lives lost, nearly 5 million barrels of oil spilled, and all preventable. Critics vowed never again. Almost a year later, 10 new deep water wells are underway. Some already drilling, other sites with rigs on the way. The Gulf is back open for business.
And to see activity again is just great.
Dwayne Rebstock's Louisiana company services the oil industry's supply ships. He's happy to rehire 10 laid-off workers, but puzzled by what's really changed.
I don't see that any improvements were made to any degree or level that justifies 10 months of the industry being shut down.
Even government regulators admit they have a long way to go, despite mandating new disaster plans from drilling operators, from data on worst-case spill rates to response time to drill a relief well, and overhauling standards for well design, casing and cementing, and safety.
Deepwater Horizon did come as a wake-up call to industry. There had been complacency and overconfidence.
And incompetence. For 87 days, BP could not stop its own leak. Since the spill, industry groups have created 2 new capping and containment systems, now for deepwater drillers in case of another major spill. One's the Marine Well Containment Company. Its centerpiece, this 100-ton stacking cap, designed to collect 60,000 barrels of leaking oil a day.
So we have the equipment, we have the people, we have the predefined plan, and we're ready to go.
How long to get this system in place over a problem well? They'll only say a matter of days. It's one of the unknowns in a new approach that has never been tried before on the sea floor. And every day of delay, a ruptured well could leak thousands of barrels. More fuel for critics. Since BP's disaster, Congress hasn't passed a single new safety regulation for deepwater drilling.
Until tough new safety standards are put on the books, then we are still gambling with the livelihoods and the life of the Gulf of Mexico.
No coast was smeared more than Louisiana's, but the state relies on oil jobs, and its officials want even more deepwater drilling ASAP.
And now is the time to begin issuing permits.
But at this congressional hearing, Louisiana's Natural Resources Director seemed not to have even read a presidential panel's new safety recommendations.
Don't you think the safety recommendations of the BP Commission should be implemented?
I'm not familiar with all those safety recommendations, Mr. Ranking Member. I would
You haven't analyzed the safety recommendations yet?
I have not, sir.
BP has refused any comment as this anniversary fuels debate about what has really changed in the Gulf. Mark Strassman, CBS News, New Orleans.
And coming up on tonight's CBS Evening News, stories of survival from a Japanese city ravaged by the earthquake and tsunami.
I know what you're thinking. Leather-trimmed command center. Almost 300 horsepower. Infinity surround sound. Seating for 7. Wait, this is a minivan? Makes you almost want to have kids. Almost. The new 2011 Dodge Grand Caravan.
Get the new 2011 Grand Caravan starting at $24,830. Plus current owners get an additional $1,000 bonus cash.
Welcome back to Geico Radio. It's savings on the radio.
Hello, Clarence, from Stevens Point.
Okay, you know the grapes at the grocery store? Well, sometimes you try one, take it for a test drive, see how it tastes. Well, my wife says that's stealing. I say it's sampling. What do you think?
Yeah, listen, Clarence, I can't really speak to the moral bit, but if you switch to Geico, you could save hundreds of dollars on your car insurance. You could buy a whole heap of grapes. How's that?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
With diabetes, it's tough to keep life balanced. I don't always have time to eat like I should. And the more I focus on everything else, the less time I have to take care of me. That's why I like Lucerna shakes. They have slowly digestible carbs to help minimize blood sugar spikes, which can help lower A1C. Lucerna products help me keep everything balanced.
I'm good.
Well, almost everything.
Lucerna, delicious shakes, bars, and cereal, helping people with diabetes find balance.
Today, we're going to surprise people with the taste of Activia.
This is really good. Great flavor.
It's really creamy. It's really tasty.
Oh, wow.
Jamie and Curtis, it's Activia.
It's really yummy. It's delicious.
Taste it, love it, or it's free.
Activia.
Before Allegra D, congestion and pressure from allergies shut me down. After Allegra D, I can breathe.
Allegra D provides fast, non-drowsy, 24-hour relief of your toughest symptoms, even reducing swelling that can cause congestion and pressure.
After Allegra D, I have it all.
Visit memorylane.com and take control of your very own time machine. Browse over 100 million pieces of photo, audio, video, magazine, and yearbook content. memorylane.com. Step back in time.
Every Sunday across America, something special happens. You spend your morning with a familiar friend. And then it's time for another familiar face.
Good morning, Charlie.
And then you hear a familiar sound.
Finally, this Sunday, operators of Japan's crippled nuclear plant said today they hope to stabilize the reactors in 6 to 9 months. The city of Rikuzen, Takata was almost wiped out by last month's tsunami. It suffered more than 2,000 dead or missing. But as Lucy Kraft discovered, the survivors refused to give up hope.
In what once was the heart of a bustling downtown, now turned to rubble, Kyoko Kano looks for signs of her former life. Things she used to own, her husband's tools, and people she used to know before she became a refugee. I was living a carefree life in my own house, she says, but not a day went by that I didn't stop by here at Mrs. Skamoto's for a visit. Visits that led to an offer of help from her old friend. When Kano's home washed away in the tsunami, Mrs. Skamoto let Kano's whole family, 5 people, move in. She was lucky. In Rikuzen, Takata, nearly half of the city's 23,000 residents are living in shelters. More, like Kano, are staying with friends. Prefab houses are starting to go up, but the process is slow, and it may be months before Kano and her family can move in. We can't keep living off other people, she says. And even people like Mrs. Skamoto, whose house has survived, have to struggle for supplies, waiting in line for food and water. The country itself is struggling while trying to support us evacuees, this woman says. How much can Japan do when it is still trying to recover itself? For Kano, the healing starts with little triumphs, like finding baby pictures of her grandchildren she thought had been lost. It's those grandchildren she worries about most. I don't know what will happen with their school, she tells me. They're using it for a morgue. Here, death and destruction are easy to see. Fortunately, so are the many hands reaching out to help. Lucy Kraft, CBS News, Rikuzen, Takata, Japan.
And that is the CBS Evening News. Later on CBS 60 Minutes. Thanks for joining us this Sunday evening. I'm Russ Mitchell, CBS News in New York. Katie Couric will be here tomorrow. Good night.
On television, online, on the go, and now free on iPad. CBS News. Be prepared for the storms ahead, plus the experience of the Storm 5 HD weather team.
There's new information tonight about the search for a missing college student. The key suspect's profile may finally be coming into focus. And something unexpected falls out of a downtown Nashville building, shutting down an entire street.
And temperatures yesterday stuck into the 40s during the afternoon. Here we are back around 70 degrees across Middle Tennessee like we are in Murfreesboro now. I'll tell you how long the warm weather lasts and our next chance of storms, when that will be. That's coming up. The news is now.
From your news and information leader, Tennessee's first local news in high definition. This is News Channel 5 at 5:30.
And good evening, everyone. I'm Scott Arnold. Tonight, investigators may have a better sense of exactly who is behind the disappearance of a missing college student from Decatur County. It is now day 5 in the search for 20-year-old